Hello friends, it is Spookathon time. It is a 8:15 p.m. 8:15, 8:16 to be exact. Yeah, I have spent all day with my sister and my nephew. I've had the day off, so at about 10-ish, a little over 10, I went to her place and have been there since then. Just came home. I haven't been reading anything for the readathon yet. Instead, this morning I read a graphic novel. That is not a scary one. That was Valhalla, the Norse mythology comics. And I thought I might listen to some of Dracula, which is my book that I didn't finish for the books in the freezer. But I didn't. So I still have like this left. I will finish this tomorrow. Even though it's not officially part of my TBR, it's still a spooky book, so I feel like it works. I don't know if I will be starting this now, but I definitely will be working on this tomorrow, and maybe possibly today, and see how far I can get into it tomorrow. But tomorrow will probably mostly be audio focused, because I have a lot of stuff that I need to do at home, since I have the day off again, and then I'll be working Monday, Thursday and Friday. Bye. Good morning, it's almost 8 o'clock, and I have been reading a little bit this morning already. I didn't read anything yesterday, so that's great. I feel like I probably should have read something, but I did. I finally started on Silence of the Lambs, and I read the first 37 pages, or the first 6 chapters. They're really short, like, it's almost written as if this was a Stephen King book. Like, its setup is the same. It's very short chapters and like that, and I like that. So far I'm liking it a lot. It reads really interestingly. I've always thought that Hannibal was an interesting character, and we already had a chapter where he was in it. So in that way it was already pretty interesting. But I'm interested in seeing where the book will take me. As I said, I haven't watched the movie, and I have never read this, obviously. And somehow I've avoided spoilers for what it's actually about, except that it's about Hannibal Lecter. And the funny thing is, like, I think the majority of people, when they read this, they would think of Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal, because he is the one who plays Hannibal in the movie Silence of the Lambs. However, I am actually thinking of Mads Mikkelsen, because he played a Hannibal in Hannibal, the TV show, and I haven't even watched more than 2 episodes of it, but I can totally see him play Hannibal in this one as well. So for some reason that's what I see. And yeah, but this was my update for now. I will let you know later what I end up reading. Now I'm gonna get breakfast and I'll get started with the day. I will be listening to Dracula. Hello, it's now almost 10 p.m. and I just went to bed because I want to read a little bit before bed again. Since this morning I managed to read a couple more chapters of Silence of the Lambs, so I'm now on chapter 9, so exactly 2 more chapters. I'm on page 51, and I'm definitely enjoying it a lot. As I said before, I'm enjoying it. I like the writing. I think that Thomas Harris really writes in a pretty engaging way. It makes it seem interesting from the get-go. I think that's also what I felt like when I read Red Dragon back in 2014, which I'm surprised I didn't read the next ones until now. But you know, sometimes, also because it's library books, sometimes I'll be more likely to forget to get the next one at the library when I'm there, because sometimes it's just a long stretch between me going to the library. Especially that time I read a lot of Kindle books instead. What else have I been doing? I've been listening. I finished Dracula. I had an hour and 6 minutes left of my double speed of the audio. The thing is, my audio service thing detracts if you listen to it in 2 0.0, it will show the amount in 2.0 time. If you read it in normal time, it will show the normal amount. So like if it's an 8-hour audio in double speed, it will show 4 hours. I don't remember. I think this was 15 hours, the Dracula one, so it was 7.5 in double speed. And so yeah, but I finished that. I had an hour left, as I said, and 6 minutes. And then I have listened to some parts of Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which is not part of my Spookathon reading, but I'm body reading it with Becky from Beck's Books. And we wanted to start this in September, but I had to renew my audio through Overdrive, and so now I have 6 days left, so I need to get moving on it. So I'll definitely be listening to that while I'm at home now, and I'll be focusing on the other audios on my drive to work the next 3 days, as well as to and from work, and as well as whatever I will be doing if I can manage to listen to something at work as well. I think these 2 audios are about 10 hours, 9 hours each, so it'll be like 4.5 hours of audio time, and I listen to at least an hour a day. So we'll see how much I get in at work the next couple of days, and whether I will finish 2 audios. But yeah, this was my update. I will talk to you later. Hi guys, it is Tuesday. Yes, no. It is Wednesday evening at, I want to say about 8. So since coming home, I haven't been reading anything. First, I felt bad when I came home because I had a headache. So I slept for like an hour and a half. I've watched some badminton because Danish Open is running. And so now I'm having dinner, and I finished writing some applications, sent them out, and I just, can't do it. Okay. I just got these headphones. I actually got a pair in for my birthday, and another brand, and thought it was okay. It wasn't probably the sort of design that I wanted, but it did have like navigation and stuff on your earmuffs, so you didn't have to pull out your phone to skip to the next track or whatever, or if you are listening to an audio, or if you have to talk on the phone, like, yeah. But the problem was, the minute I had this charged and started listening, the Bluetooth didn't work. I mean, it worked as long as it was in quite a short distance from the headphones. If I put it in my pocket, the Bluetooth didn't connect, or it disappeared, or whatever. It couldn't connect to the earmuffs. And if I just walk like more than 4 meters away from it, it didn't. If I turned around away from it, like that, it didn't work. So I went and said that this did not really work yesterday, and they were nice and said that obviously they didn't want to spend time sending it in because it was not that expensive of a thing, so it would take a lot more effort from them than it was worth. So I was able to find something else of my own choosing instead, and I got this one. It cost like a little more than the one that I got for my birthday, but hopefully I like the design a little better, and hopefully it will also still be good, and hopefully the Bluetooth will work, because obviously if it had been a problem that everyone had that issue, then I don't think they would sell it. So I think it was just this one time thing, but I didn't want the same, also because when it came down to it, it didn't feel very good on my ears when I was wearing it. So yeah, but I'm eating. I'm having rye bread toast because I was actually supposed to have broccoli soup. So quite healthier, but since I was feeling really bad when I came home and it's late now, I don't feel like I have time to start and cook something. So I decided to go with rye bread toast, and that's definitely better than going to get some junk food somewhere. So yeah, but I didn't mention I have actually listened to 2 hours and 8 minutes of Wildfire by Ilona Andrews, and I'm enjoying it a lot so far. It's already pretty. Lots of things are happening. It's the final book in a trilogy, so I'm really looking forward to see how it will end out. And there's a lot of crazy things happening to the characters, and I am very much looking forward to continue it. So I still have 4 hours left of the audio, so I'm a third of the way through it, but it's very good so far. I'm trying to do some planning of my reading time, management of my reading time, and to be able to read more and sort of be a little better at sticking to my series and reading series that I really want to, and also still keep reading buddy reads and things I'm interested in that are hyped or something like that right now, and how I can better manage that in the future. So I'm trying to plan something possibly from November, and we'll see how that goes. But today I figured a plan that will make me read I think almost 10 books that are Series Next or even more, and then also 2 buddy reads that are not necessarily Series Next but just part of a buddy reading group that I'm doing. And if that I were to meet my goals that I set for myself, I would have to listen to 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I listened to 2 hours and 8 minutes today, so it should be doable, because I would definitely be able to find another 20 minutes to listen to something else, and read about 60 pages a day of a physical type of book. And I should also be able to do that even though I don't necessarily read 60 pages a day in a weekday. I do often tend to read over weekends. In the mornings I catch up on a lot of the reading that I don't get to over the week, and I should be able to find like an hour here and there over the week as well, where I can sit down and physically read something. So that should be a goal that I will be able to maintain. That would just made me look into a little more planning that doesn't necessarily make it boring for me to pick up books. But those are all books that I'm excited about. Those are all books that are series that I want to get back to. And I both managed to get both Audible books, library books, TBR and wrapping books, and all of that on my TBR for that. So yeah, that is going to be interesting. This was a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I just thought I wanted to share it. And yeah, so that was nice. I will see you later. Good morning. I am on my way to work. It is 6:30. 6:40 probably. And I am on my way. I need to go by a store so I can get something for lunch today, because I didn't have any leftovers from yesterday. That's usually what I eat at lunch, leftovers. So, and when I don't have that, then I need to get something elsewhere. So I'm probably just gonna get a salad somewhere, because that's like my usual thing to get when I don't have something myself. I think that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I just wanted to let you know that I forgot to bring my shirt. It's a lot colder now, so I have to be prepared for that. I just wanted to let you know that I started on a graphic novel that is called Gunner Creek Court. I have had issues by loading the pages, but after restarting the app 16 times, it finally, oh well, that was pretty random. I don't know how many times, but definitely a lot, more than 5 times. It finally loaded all of the pages, so I was able to read them. And so far, I'm loving it. I'm only like 63 pages into the graphic novel. I've been reading like a chapter or something, a little more than a chapter, in the evenings before bed. And I'm always tired when I go to bed, so I don't read very much. But I did manage to read something, and it's just the amount of creepiness. No, it's not super creepy. It's set in a sort of gothic environment. So yeah, I might use that for the one with the pictures, and we'll see. So I'm calling it a night. It's 10:15, no, it's 10:25 p.m. So I need to get to bed as the alarm goes off at 5:30 tomorrow. So I need my sleep. And this is where I am stopping. So, yeah, and to any new viewers, this is how it's supposed to end up looking. Can you tell? It is a picture of Tigger and Piglet, and it is something I am making for my nephew. So yeah, when I started today, I didn't have any of the sort of burnt orange thing, and I also had to do the arm up here, some of it. So that is what I've been doing today. And this took me this much time. I still have a lot of the orange left to do up the side of the tail and up the side of his other arm. So I'll do that possibly tomorrow. But this was my update. I will go to bed now and I'll see you. Hello, it's Friday of the Readathon. And I want to do an update. First up, I finished Wildfire, which I said I would. And I loved it. I ended up giving it 5 stars. I just really enjoyed this. This is... since it's the last in the series, it's difficult to talk about. Follows a woman who has this sort of ability as a truth seer to see if people are telling the truth. She is a private investigative office and uses her ability to help solving different crimes. And in the first book, she meets this... she gets mixed up with this man called... known as Mad Rogan, who is also... has an ability, but he is a different type of... It's a different type of ability where he can manipulate people to do things that he wants them to do. And so they're both pretty powerful in their magics and sort of like that. So this is the third book, and it deals with a case, not a case in the same way, but it's just still like there's parts of it that's still the same as the first. That were brought up in the first book, so that's tying together in the third and final one, and I just really enjoyed it, and highly recommend the audios because the narration has been really great in all of the audios except this one. I think there's something with the audio because the volume sort of kept going up and down as I was listening to it, but the narration is pretty great, so there was nothing wrong with that. Then I have started on Murder on Astor Place by Victoria Thompson. This is the first book in the Gaslight mystery series. So it's I think it has 24 books or something like that. So it's a pretty long series. But I'm already really enjoying it, and I'm speeding through it. I'm halfway through it already. And almost honestly really enjoying it. And I think this is gonna be a series that I will really end up looking forward to getting back to, because it's just sort of... it has a nice feel to it when you sit down and read those type of books. So I will definitely be going back to this pretty often, I think. And now my plan is to go and read a little bit in this one before I have to go to my parents' place for dinner. So I will probably have about an hour or something to read. And yeah, see ya. Hello friends, it is Dewey's time. It is just started. It is exactly 5 minutes past 2, so I should be reading, but I just wanted to do a quick update and let you know that from now on, this will be part Spookathon, part Dewey's vlog the rest of the weekend. And yeah, I currently just came back from getting ready for the Dewey's. I mean, I just had to go to the library and I had to buy some snacks and stuff for dinner that was easy to make. And then I went by and got myself some lunch, and I bought a coffee. It's my favorite kind of coffee, almost, I think. I mean, I go there pretty regularly, and you'll hear why soon. Yeah, and I got myself a sandwich with tuna. And then when I was about to leave, the owner of the store, the only one that's the coffee shop, it's an independent coffee shop, and it's only him that works there, and so he knows all of the customers that comes into to the store, and I'm a pretty regular customer. I mean, sometimes I tell myself he doesn't remember, but he definitely does. And so, just as I was about to leave, he asked me whether I wanted something for dessert on the house, like for free on the house. And I said, sure, I would like to have a cookie, because I was a little shocked that he would ask me this, because it was not something I considered at all. But he asked me whether I wanted a dessert for free, and I was like, sure, maybe a cookie, and the light one's one of these cookies. So I got this cookie for free, and just as I was about to walk out the door, he said, yeah, we gotta give something back to our regular customers. And I was just like, yeah, sure. And then I left the store. It was so weird. I mean, I have had a couple of times before where he was like almost about to make my coffee when I went in there, but since over the winter period I get warm coffee, so I think that he's not sure at this point what I'm gonna get. But over the summer period, I only got a plain iced coffee every time I went there, or iced latte. So yeah, that was a little funny, but now that was my quick update, and I will just show you what my plans are for the weekend. First up, I have Silence of the Lamb by Thomas Harris, which is my main read, and I am about halfway through it. I'm on page 128 out of 296. I think I said 288, but it's 296 pages, and so I have about 150 pages left, 160 pages left, or something like that, and I am really enjoying it. So this will be my main focus of the actual physical books that I'll be reading. Then I also have Uprooted, which will be my main priority when it comes to the audiobook this day, because I am about a third of the way through it, but the audio expires, I think, today or tomorrow from my overdrive. I think it's tomorrow. So I'll need to get a good chunk of this out if I don't want to read the rest of it. I mean, I could read it, but I know it will go slower. If I finish any of these, I have these two books that I will work on, of my physical books. And I have some graphic novels, which is probably what I'm going to start out with. This is Valhalla Volume 3, the Collected Saga, and it has 3 stories in it. I'm halfway through it already, because I started it last weekend, I think, and I will try and finish that first. And then I have Gunner Creek Court, which I'm already reading as well, and I will go to that one later if I want to read another graphic novel in between my heavier reading. And if I have time left, I will dig into My Favorite Thing is Monsters, which was originally on my TBR, but since I read Gunner Creek Court instead, it works also for Spookathon, so I am just counting that one. But so these are my plans. I'll get to reading because I've been talking for 5 minutes now, and I'm gonna have something to eat while I try and read something alongside. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna go get something to eat, and then we'll see what happens. Bye. Hello, just an update of my reading for Dewey's and Spookathon, but this one is not necessarily for Spookathon. It is just a regular graphic novel. It features Norse mythology and sort of that type, and it is Valhalla, the Collected Saga, Volume 3, which I just finished. I had about half of this left, and so I had both the second story, the third story, volume, I don't know what you call them, because it's like one story. They're all about 60 pages long, so I guess it's like an issue, but it's longer than an issue, a single issue. But this included Valhalla 7, 8, and 9. I'd read 7 before, and the corresponding mythology that went into writing this story and how they came up with the story. And the thing is, with the Norse mythology, we only get snippets of things that has been written down in the legends. And so what Peter Madsen and his crew does is that they think out, but how does this story come along? What more could have happened to make this story possible? And then they have an added sort of humor that I really enjoy. My favorite story was definitely the second, I think, even there were some things that were not super appropriate in the way of showing Freya, but I think that they handled it pretty well nonetheless. But this has been my least favorite collection of the three, and so I give it a 3 stars, but I still really enjoyed it. So yeah, my arm is killing me, so I'm gonna put this down. But this is my update for now. Now I'm gonna go to the store to pick up a package and stuff like that. So I will just get a break away from this, but I'll be listening to an audio as I do that. So yeah, I'll be back when I have to unwrap that box. Hello friends, it is now half an hour later, no, 25 minutes later, more or less, since I last updated you, and I have been on a slightly longer walk than I wanted to at first, because I was thinking it's not going to be long before it's going to be dark, because winter and all that. I think it'll be another hour or 2. So I decided, as I was going out to the store anyway, I'll just take a slightly longer route to the store, which is the grocery store, which is where the post office is. And so I did that and got an extra 15 minutes walk or something like that. Instead of those 5 to 10 minutes that it would have taken me had I just walked to the store and back. And yeah, this is the package that I picked up. This is obviously books. I have been thinking about for a long time that I need to slow my book buying, but when I received the package from awesomebooks.com last time, I got a coupon that said I would get 10% off my next purchases if I did them before the 31st of October, and if it was only used books, and I always only buy used books from this place. So I just wanted to share with you what I bought. I think it has 5 books or more, I'm not sure. Let's take one at a time. The first book I pick out, yeah, that is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. This has been highly praised by a lot of people, and yeah, it's a pretty good condition, and I like this cover. It's not a mass market, and I'm happy about that. So yeah, let's dig in. What is the next thing? That is The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. I have really been wanting to read this book since the Fantasy Festival, but also before that, but it just made me even more excited about it, so hopefully I will enjoy it. This was another bargain bin book, and it was the only one in the store, so yeah, I'm interested in reading this one as well. And this one was actually also in pretty good condition considering. What is this? Let's take this one first. Oh, yeah. And this one is it's a sci-fi classic, and it is Doomsday Book by Connie Willis. This is a time travel book, and that is basically one of the main reasons that I got it. I love time travel, and yeah. This is quite large, but this is the first book in the Oxford time travel series, and I don't know anything more than that. So, but I have heard really great things about Connie Willis, so I am looking forward to reading this at some point. What is the next thing? This is a big one. No, this is not a super big one. This is, oh yeah. And this is actually a book that I'm currently reading as well, but it is The Dead Zone by Stephen King in a sort of mass market book, but it's sort of the same type of edition that I have my other Stephen King books in, and it was the only one they had in this edition, so I was like, I better get it now, and I know I enjoy it already, so yeah, happy with this purchase. And yep, another one. And this is basically the best thing that I found. I think, I don't know, that is a stretch. But I've already read this one, so I don't have to read it. And it's one of my favorite books that I've read this year. And I read it back in August. And it is Reaper Man by Terry Pratchett. One of my absolute favorite Discworld books. And it smells funny. Has sort of... This smells like the perfume my grandmother used to use. It's a lot better than Witches Abroad, which smelled of smoke. So, yeah. Really happy I got this one and can't wait to reread it at some point. We'll see whether this will continue to be one of my favorites as I go on. I mean, I don't know. It's a stretch because I also really love God's Gods, also by Terry Pratchett, and I don't know which one of those I really love the most. And I also really liked Mort when I first read it. But, yeah. So, that one was a great find as well. And this next one is a hard copy. I forgot what this is. Oh, yeah. And then I got The House of Special Purpose by John Boyne. I've heard a lot of great things about John Boyne, but I specifically wanted this book because it's about the Romanov family. And anything about the Romanov family gets my attention. So, Russia in 1915. At the age of 16, Georgy Yakhmenev steps in front of an assassin's bullet intended for a senior member of the Russian imperial family and is instantly proclaimed a hero. Before the week is out, his life as the son of the peasant farmer is changed forever when he is escorted to St. Petersburg to take up his new position as bodyguard to Alexei Romanov, the only son of the Tsar Nicholas II. Yeah, so this is definitely something to do with Romanov. I don't know exactly how, what it's going to be like, but I'm happy I bought this and I will definitely get into this at some point, obviously. So those are the books that I got in the latest awesome books purchase. This is one of my favorite places to buy books because they have really good selection of back and bin books, and it cost me nothing to get here. I think it's only €3 for shipping every time, no matter how much you buy, so that is a really good deal. And this was my update for this time around, and now I'm gonna go get back to some reading, and yeah, bye. Hello, it is now almost 8 p.m. and this means we're almost at the end of hour 6 of Dewey's. I have only been reading for half an hour in The Silence of the Lambs, so I'm now on page 149. I'm really enjoying it. Hannibal Lecter is such an interesting character, even though you know that he's a psychopath, sociopath, whatever you want to call him. He has some interesting viewpoints, and he is definitely... the chapters with him has been the easiest to read. So I'm really looking forward to what's going to happen now. Things have happened in the last couple of chapters, and I'm interested in seeing what's going to end up happening. But right now, I'm going to be taking a break because the great Danish baking show, whatever you want to call it, is just about to start. So I'm going to watch that because it is like a thing that I watch every week. We'll see how I get back to it when I finish watching the baking show. So yeah, bye. So, the Great Baking Show is over, and it was a good episode. I don't know why, because I get so obsessed with this show every time it's on, but yeah, I've never been interested. Correction. I've watched the Swedish and the British edition, but I've never thought that they did as like that those programs were as great as the Danish one, and I don't want to be I don't know. The episodes that I've watched only has 2 bakings. Like, there's the favorite baking and there's the secret baking, or whatever you're gonna call it. But in the Danish one we have 3 trials. There's 3 rounds, where the last one is the master baking, where they have to bake this beautiful cake. Like, But yeah, I really enjoy this, and I think the right one was sent out today, and the right one won the Master Baker title of the week. But there's definitely some that I am rooting for a little more than others. However, I don't have anyone that I really don't like. Sometimes I've had some I really disliked and wanted to get out early, though it didn't happen. But this time around, I think that everyone generally seems like very nice people, and I kind of like their stories and what they're doing. So yeah, right now I have to get back to reading, and at this time of the evening I usually don't really feel like reading. So I think I have to do something else, and I'm gonna listen to an audio with my new earphones that I've just taken in use today. And they work really well. And I will be listening to Uprooted as I do a little bit of cross-stitching, and we'll see how that goes and how long I can focus on that. And yeah, but this was my update for now. I'll see you later. Bye. Hello friends, it is now 5 minutes before midnight and I'm calling it a night. If you can tell, this is how my project looked before I started, and this is how it looks now. So you can see there's a bit of a transition. I've gotten somewhere. And according to my book, I am a little over halfway. Just past the halfway point, I think. I just finished chapter 17, so I felt like it was also a good place to stop. And yeah, I haven't read anything else, obviously. Yeah, but I'm gonna get to bed now and see you tomorrow. Good morning. It is 10 a.m. and I had just had some breakfast. I mean, I'm not done eating breakfast, but I am gonna just sort of break the breakfast into parts, apparently, because I'm not super hungry, but I just wanted a little bit so I can read on and concentrate on reading. I woke up at a little after 7 and I finished Gunner Creek Court. I keep forgetting what he's called, the artist. I want to say it's Thomas Siddell, and I have absolutely loved reading this. It is such an interesting graphic novel, and one of the best things about it is that it's very highly focused on a friendship between the main character and this other girl, and that friendship is just really precious, and I really love that. And I ended up giving it 5 stars because it's just my type of style, my type of story, and my type of humor that was used in it. Even though it's not super humorous compared to some other graphic novels and comic books I've read. However, I really loved the art style. It was the quirky kind I really enjoy. So I finished that. I read about 18 pages in Silence of the Lamb. Yeah, now I'm going to be continuing that, and hopefully I'll finish it today. I don't know how, I think I read about 35 pages an hour of this. It's really slow. So now I'm gonna go get reading, and for hopefully like 15 minutes, so I can update my progress for this hour and then get back to reading again. Hello friends, it is now exactly 1 minute before 2 p.m. and it means that Dewey is over, more or less. And I just finished Silence of the Lamb. That's all I read since I spoke to you last, and I only had very few breaks in between because I could see that I only read like 35 pages per hour. And so this is one of my slower reads for sure. But it is also different what type of books you're reading, and this one had very little margin. It was just like this, text. I'm also sort of comparing it to like another library book, which has like a larger font. This is like a size or 2 smaller in the Hannibal one than the Dead Zone, for instance. And so yeah, I think it's okay. I ended up finishing this and it was definitely a great read. I don't know what to rate it exactly. I'm thinking about a 4 stars for this one because it was definitely engaging all of the way through it, and I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen in the next book. I really like Clarice, who was the main character of this book as well. She was a really interesting protagonist, and I like the way she handled things. As I finished like 5 minutes before, I had little time to do my totals and end up reading a total of 10 hours and 25 minutes over the 24 hours. And I read a total of 487 pages, and I finished 3 things, and I made a good amount of progress in Uprooted. So, all in all, I'm pretty satisfied with how I did. So yeah, that is what I have to say. Now I'm going to probably go have a shower, and I have to hang up some laundry, and then I'm gonna leave for my parents' house to see my sister and nephew who are there. So yeah,